Thrifting Diva, and welcome to my channel. So, we are here on this Saturday evening, and we're going to be doing some high protein snacks that's perfect if you're someone looking to get some extra protein into your diet, or if you're on a weight loss and so you're trying to make sure that every meal and snack counts. And these high protein and relatively low calorie snacks are definitely what you're going to need. Now, I'll be honest with you, I am not someone that does a lot of snacking, but I could see me using these even for appetizers if I wanted to use them instead of a snack. I do have people in my house that love snacking, my husband especially. And so I know these are going to be some things that he would love and that can use in between meals. They're high protein. Well, I would say they're better in protein for a couple of those. They're high in protein than if you were to go grab cookies and chips and things like that. And so we're trying to get rid of those types of snacks and getting them and adding things that are more intentional to the diet. I've been on this weight loss journey for the last like really hard at it for the last 6 weeks, and I've lost 10 pounds already. And I would say that the one thing that I have learned the most, especially in this journey, is that your it's absolutely important what you're eating. Okay, it is so important. I do go to the gym, but I am telling you, I'm losing the weight. And there's, not feeling any after effects of losing the weight, but I'm losing the weight so much quicker than because of this high protein, low calorie deficit kind of thing that I'm working with. And so tonight I wanted to jump in here. Normally I'm always doing like a whole meal or breakfast or lunch or something, but figured that you guys are going to want to get some tips on some snacks that you can have around the house that are going to hit those weight loss goals and still taste very, very good. Now, the one thing I'll say is that with all my meals, I am never giving up the flavor for the fit. Like, we're not going there. And so, these that I'm going to show you today are definitely going to be ones that you would love and that you're going to definitely want to have over and over again. Jaya, how are you? So, Catherine, double touch the middle of the screen and show the love. Oh, I didn't realize we can do that even on lives. That you can do the hearts, the thumbs up so easily. Catherine, welcome back. Thank you so much. Jaya, thank you. I actually got this. It's just like something I wear around the house now, but I actually got this when I was in Japan and I thrifted it. I'll show you the full thing. I actually thrifted it in Japan, and it's just something you throw on and go. It was like $4 in Japan after the conversion from the yen, and something I like wearing around the house. In the fall, it is definitely comfy. The AC is going right now, so I figured I'll put this on. Okay, now we are doing, as I mentioned, three high protein but relatively low calorie snacks. These snacks are much better for you if you rather than you grabbing cookies and chips and all those other things that we get in the pantry and we start craving when in between meals. So hopefully you would be able to incorporate these. They're relatively simply, hence the reason I'm going to be able to do 3 in this 1 hour show and show you just how delicious they are. So we're going to jump in and start. And the first thing we want to do is actually, I'm going to be making a sweet and spicy chickpeas, like roasted chickpeas. Love, love, love roasted chickpeas. And so the reason I want to start with that one first is because we need to be able to get that chickpeas to dry out so that we could put it in the oven. Now, we want that crispy, it's going to be crispy in the end. And I will tell you now, when I've made this before, when I have been impatient and rushed it, it didn't come out crispy because there was still water and, moisture in the chickpeas. So doing it from scratch with you so you can see that process, but we're going to do it like that. And so that is what we're going to do. Damien, how are you this evening? Hope all is well on your side and you're feeling better, a little better today. We're doing high protein snacks today. And so I just wanted to check something in my to see if I have my edamame, because one of the meals calls for edamame, and I don't remember if I had picked up edamame the last time. So we're going to go through some of the things. And hopefully I have some in here. If not, we'll have to figure out another. Oh, I do have some whole edamame. Perfect. I just came down. Okay, so we have edamame. Perfect. All right, let's jump into this. Just got my 14 channel to moderate in under a month. Nice. That is awesome. And okay. And you are one of our amazing moderators here. So happy to be one of the 14. Okay. As I mentioned, we're going to be doing a sweet and spicy roasted chickpeas as a snack. But remember, all of these snacks can be like appetizers as well. So go off on it. But the first thing we're going to need to do, here are your ingredients. You're going to need chickpeas. And chickpeas is a good one or garbanzo beans is what you probably can hear it for. 6 grams of protein in a serving, okay? And just 120 calories. So low calories, that's the game here. We're looking for low calories, and we're looking to make sure that the protein is relatively high. Now, remember, they're not going to be high. It's not going to be high like when we do a meal like chicken and shrimp and salmon, right? These are snacks. So remember, the protein is not going to be hitting in the 20s and 30s like we get when we're making those full meal. So I'm going to open these cans and we're going to get ready. The first thing you want to do is probably put on your oven. And I'm going to set my oven to 425 and get that going. And these are going to be snacks that you can make relatively quickly. These are not meals. You're going to be able to put them on quickly. But I promise you, it's going to feel like you made these for hours, right? We're not talking about no boring snacks. I've told people over and over that one of the things for me with this weight loss journey is I'm going to eat my food, okay? And the food is going to have to taste good. We're not eating dry chicken breasts for a week. We're not eating broccoli for a week. We're going to switch it up. And if you've been following me so far, you see we are switching it up daily, okay? Now, yes, we can do some leftovers throughout, but I want to show you that you can do this and still enjoy food. Like, we shouldn't make food the pariah and make food something that we are not interested in anymore if we're losing weight. And in the 6 weeks that I've been working on this, I've lost 10 pounds and I feel amazing. I don't have any hunger panic, mood swings, any of those things like that. And I still got 10 more pounds to go. So basically what I'm doing is getting this chickpeas into here. Okay. And we're just pouring out all the liquid. All right. We're just pouring out all the liquid. And I'm going to run some water on there over on the chickpeas just so I could get some of that salt, that they use in the canning of these things. So I'm going to get some of that out. This is probably the most important part of making this. We're making sweet and spicy chickpeas, okay? And so probably the most important part of this is going to be patience, because you want to make sure all that liquid dries out as much as possible for this. So here's my trick to doing that. I'm going to set this aside for a second. Let's just read some of the comments really quickly. How many ounces in that can? Damien, the can has, this is it's 16 ounces. Coffee, gelatine with skim milk, and a tad of coconut cream is my new guilty-free snack. Use sugar-free Torino syrup, brown sugar for a touch of sweet. Ooh, that sounds really good. I'm gonna have to screenshot this recipe you just dropped on us here, Catherine. Malva, welcome. How are you? Haven't seen you around in a while, so thanks for dropping in. So what I'm gonna do, as I said, we're making sweet and spicy chickpeas, okay? And so what I want to do here is actually, I'm going to use this because I'm going to just put it into the oven after. I'm turning on my oven for the first time, and that's going to be preheating at 425. We're making high protein, or I would say not all are true high protein, because if we're talking true high protein, we're talking like, for me, 15 grams and more of protein. But what we're doing here are doing snacks that are going to be much better for us than if we were eating chips and cookies and stuff like this. So this is flour sack. Um, basically, see how big they are. I love these. I get these from um, right now. I get them from Target. Although I'm not the biggest fan of Target right now, but this is only place I've seen these that I could really count on, and they're very inexpensive at Target. They're like $6 for, I think, 4 or 5 pieces. But they're basically like a, cloth. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to maybe double it up a little bit. There we go. And I want to get the chickpeas on there so that it can get all of that liquid off. Now you see this, what's happening here? The skin is coming off. That's fine. Don't stress it. And so you're going to use this cloth to kind of try to get some of that liquid out of there. And while you're doing that, some of the skin is just naturally going to come off. And I'm going to do this for a few minutes, and then I'll set it aside so it could kind of do its own air drying. If I was really, really good, I would have done this earlier today. And then when you saw me, we will just be going right into getting it seasoned and getting it ready to go into the oven. But you guys know how we do. We're just showing you sometimes when you have the craving for a snack and you didn't prep it in advance. I want to show you that you can still make something really quickly, still good for you, and still absolutely tasty. So you see how some of the shelling is coming off. That's fine. I'm losing it. Okay. And so what I'm just going to do is leave this like that for a little bit. I'm going to set this aside and go to getting some of the seasonings and stuff. Okay, remember I said this is a sweet and spicy roasted garbanzo beans or chickpeas. If you want to make this super simple, like you're like, Ayana, that is just too much work. I want in and out. All you need to do is, once that is dry, you can put a little bit of olive oil or avocado oil. I'm going to use avocado oil today, and a little bit of salt, pop it in the oven and get it crispy. And then you got that already. I like the chickpeas better than peanuts because it's lower calories than the peanuts, okay? Okay, all steps are good. Your chickpeas dish is going to have close to 60 grams of protein. For 2 packs of, okay, so I'm mixing it up. Roasted chickpeas tend to have more protein than the raw form. Okay. Oh, I wonder why. I've never heard of that before. All right, so we're making the sweet and spicy coating, and all you're going to need for that is a few little things that I pulled out already because I want to make this under 1 hour show. And so here's what you're going to have. So we're going to have some smoked paprika. You're going to have a little bit of cayenne pepper, and that's your heat. You're going to have a little bit of ground cumin. We're going to use a little bit of maple syrup, and then avocado oil. Putting the oil in there is going to help with the crisping up of the chickpeas. So don't skip that, okay? But you can use avocado oil. You can use olive oil as well. I'm just trying out the avocado oil, so we'll see if it does any difference. I've always used the olive oil, but you switch things up so you can say yay or nay on it. I'm going to grab a little bowl, and then we're going to all we're doing is putting everything together, and then that's going to coat the chickpeas. Okay, you see how simple that is? Super simple, nothing to it. But before I start that, because our chickpeas anyway is still working, I want to do one of these snacks because I'm going to need a little bit of time on that because it has to go into the freezer. And that is, this one is going to be my favorite. So we're going to make a um, peanut butter yogurt topped with dark chocolate and salted caramel. This one is going to be probably my favorite because I've been dying to test this. So let's see. And I wanted to jump in before. So we already started on that side. It's our sweet and spicy chickpeas. If you're just joining me, we're doing I keep saying high protein, but three snacks that are higher in protein than your typical chips and cookies and all those other snacks you might have for craving. And these are much more healthier for you and can actually work to ensure that you're keeping that weight loss that you're going. Like if you're trying to eat these in between meals, it will probably lengthen the time that you will probably need to eat a meal, kind of thing like that. And if you don't eat it as snacks, because I'm not a big snack person, you can have these as appetizers. Okay. So this one actually probably would not be an appetizer because it would probably be the dessert for some people. So let's jump in on that one because, as I said, I'm going to need to put these in the freezer before the end of the show to show you how it is. Super easy, not a lot of, you absolutely don't need a lot of, and maybe I'm going to make three actually. Let's see if we can make three of them or maybe four. So make one for everyone in the family. So I'm going to just get these ramekins, right? So these are each a serving size. Okay. These are just like a serving size. I'm going to make four, one for everyone in the family. And what you're going to need, you're going to need some peanut butter. I'm going to do the sugar-free caramel drizzle. Okay, so I'm trying to keep down under the calorie counts. And then this one is the dark chocolate chips, but this one doesn't have any added sugar. Okay, and then of course the star of the show is always going to be something that's high in protein, and that's going to be our Greek yogurt. So we have a few. I need to finish up some yogurt here, so I'm just going to mix these. Okay, so you have Greek yogurt. I have a couple. So it's all good. I'm going to mix some 000 plain and some 000 vanilla. Okay, that's fine. Whatever yogurt you have, I think is going to be more than okay in doing this. All right. So I'm going to set these aside for a second. And this is a great one for like if you are a person who loves dessert, or in the middle of the day, you just need a snack. I think this is a really good one to do. I've made this a couple of times for my husband with different toppings, and he absolutely loves it. And as I said, he is definitely a snack person. And so the fact that he loves it makes me know that I'm doing something right. What you're going to do is you're going to need to melt your chocolate chips. So I'm just going to put these in a bowl and then pop it in the microwave because that's the easy way. Now, if you want to do the double boiling and stuff like that, girl, do you. Nobody is stopping that. But when we want to do something really quick, I'm going to be your girl to show you really quick. We're still going to enjoy what we are doing, okay? So I'm going to pour some of this in there. And we're going to try to get, I'm just going to pour a little bit in there. Okay. Probably, feel like I did like a third of the bag. And I'm just going to put it in the microwave. Obviously, there are definitely different ways of melting chocolate. But whichever way is your way, go for it. This is my way because I'm not a baker. Now, the hardest part about this is basically getting this guy, trying to figure out how much I'm going to need of each piece here. So I'm going to get a spoon really quickly. My oven is preheating. My chickpeas are drying out. So I'm going to work on this part of the snacks. We're doing 3 snacks tonight, super simple. Um, and I'm just gonna finish off this. If you are someone looking to lose weight or even, try to add more protein to your diet, I cannot tell you how much yogurt I go through a week because it's just such an easy way to do it. So this one is vanilla. It's 17 grams of protein, 100 calories in a serving. You cannot beat that. Like half the time I'm trying to hit 30 to 40 grams of protein, and this has been the easiest way to do it is by adding Greek yogurt. As I said, I just finished this. Hey, yo, boy Coco, thank you so much for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're doing 3 protein snacks that are so easy, so simple to make, and definitely will help you keep you full, especially if you're using these snacks in between meals. They can be used as appetizers as well, but they are also so much better for you than grabbing chips and cookies and all those other things that we tend to go to if we are feeling peckish. So I'm just adding, this is the plain yogurt. I'm making 4 of these. So I'm just kind of eyeballing like how much will be. And I think I might end up finishing up this one as well. I go through a lot of yogurt. So I'm just telling you now, if you're not incorporating yogurt into your weight loss, you're missing an opportunity to get that high protein going without having to do a lot. Okay, I just heard the chocolate melting, the microwave go off, but it looks like I still need some more time. So I'm just gonna put it in there for another minute. Okay, so we're making peanut butter yogurt. All you're gonna be doing is just adding peanut butter to the yogurt. Like, make it simple. Make it simple. So the one I have here, I have this one is old fashioned peanut butter smooth. I thought I had one. Let me see. I thought I had one that had like the crunchy, like the peanut butter hole in there. Maybe not. This is creamy. I thought I had one with it. Here's another option for those who don't want peanut butter. If you want to do almond butter in here, you can do that. Well, I might mix it. Who knows? This is my house. This is my recipe, and that's the good thing about these. You could just switch it up whenever you want to. This is what I hate the most about when you open these things. Like that liquid at the top be killing me. Like, gosh. But okay, chips are still definitely needing some more time. So another minute in there. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're going to be changing this a little bit. So this is a mix of, if you don't want to do any of this, you don't have to, right? But this is a mix of vanilla and plain yogurt. And the reason I'm doing it is because that's what I had left. Don't make this complicated. Now, I want to make this a peanut butter thing. So what I'm doing is just grabbing some of that here. And you can mix this. What I'm going to do, why not? Let's just see. So we're going to do peanut butter and almond butter. And so for both, the protein in the almond butter is 7 grams of protein with 190 calories for a serving. A serving is 2 tablespoons. And it's almost the same for the peanut butter. It's 190 calories with 8 grams of protein. Okay. Now, why I'm liking this one is because it's crunchy. It has like the almonds bits in it still, so it's what I like. And I thought my peanut butter had that in it already. So I'm just gonna set this aside, and then we're just gonna mix this in. And we're just mixing it in. I think we have enough. I don't need any more. Put those back. So it's a peanut butter almond mix in here. And if you want to stop at this point, you can, okay? You can absolutely stop at this point. Damien, if you're still here, what would it be in our protein count if we were to stop right here? If you have any sweet potato, mixing a little bit of that with that caramel sauce and coating it in chocolate might be. Oh, I do have some sweet potato left. We could do it. We could try it. We can try it. I do have some sweet potato left that I was trying to finish up this weekend. All right, so I'm going to taste it. Let's just taste that little piece. Okay. Ooh, that does taste good, actually. Tarty with a little hint of sweetness in there from the peanut butter. Um, okay, store your peanut butter upside down. You'll never have to deal with that. Okay, I will try that tonight because I do hate having to deal with it like that. Okay, so we're done. The hard part of this meal, not meal, but this snack is pretty much really done already. Okay, so there it's a peanut butter and almond butter mix. What kind of peanut butter, or does it matter? I don't think it matters, to be honest with you. I did some old-fashioned peanut butter. I just tried to look for the one that didn't have any a lot of added sugars. So this one has 0% added sugars. And I do notice that some of them come like that with some added sugars. And trying to keep the calorie count down, I stopped. I did look to make sure. This one had total sugars, and this is 2 grams. There's 3 grams of fiber, but 0% added sugars. And the same with the almond butter. 7 grams of protein, 190 calories, 4 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, and 0% added sugar. So just be careful. Like, there are a lot of hidden sugars I've realized in so many of these things that are already supposed to be healthy. So I have no idea why they're doing all the extraness in, making those things like that. Okay. Um, so far it looks like 4 minutes so far on how much you would be doing if you were melting the chocolate chips. And so what you want to do now, get this out of the way so you see it, is you want to add, and such a pretty presentation too for this if you have guests coming over. But basically we are going to go add a nice set, you're just going to add it into your ramekin here. All right. I thought I had enough, but geez, I think I should be good. So there we go. And we're just filling it up. Okay. This is going to be a tiny one, but we're going to get it in here. We're going to scrape. It smells so good, by the way. You know how if you can smell what you're about to eat, and it's doing everything for you, then you know you're doing something right. Then I promise you, this is one of those. Let's see if I need a spatula. Let's see if this chocolate is good to go. Man, this chocolate is saying like, ma'am, I do not want to go in there. All right, we're going to go 2 minutes on that. Remember, I got the dark chocolate without any sugar added. But if you're going to add any sugar, you just remember you're adding calories, which, it just depends if you're in a deficit, how much you're allowing yourself in general to have extra or not. But we're going to scrape the last bit of this into here because we want as much of that in there. And we're just going to get it all in there. And actually, this guy needed it more. And so we're going to just grab that in there. Okay. And that's it. If you wanted this to be over at this point, you can. Like, this by itself tastes amazing, and you can go about your Merry Life with a high protein snack. But we're going to take it up a little bit. We're going to make this Lux Living lifestyle thing. So what we have, I'm just going to clean up a little bit because you guys know how I am about presentation. So we're just going to clean that up a little bit so we don't have anything on the sides of the bowl. Okay. All right, the one thing I do want to do is kind of get it flattened out a little bit so that they're not, because we're putting these in the freezer now. Because I'm going to add my chocolate over it here and make a shell. This bowl is definitely didn't get as much as some, but I just want to get it kind of, without banging the ramekin every 20 seconds aside. I'm just using this guy to do that. There we go. Obviously, if you fill up the bowl nicely like this one was filled, you won't have that much of a problem. But we are going to do that like that. I don't want the peaks like that because I want a nice kind of flat shell from the chocolate. Okay. If you don't like chocolate, you don't have to. I'm using dark chocolate because that's going to give me the least amount of calories. Okay. Don't do that with your hand, please. Ooh. Okay. So my chocolate. I probably should have done more chocolate. I'm going to come over there. It's probably why they say try to do the double boiling because it's so much easier, but I'm impatient in every aspect. And I don't even think I have enough in here, to be honest with you. So it's melted, but it's still a little thick. But we'll see. The bowl is super hot, so I think it's helping get that melting going still. All right. What do you think? Should I put it in there for another 30 seconds or lay it on there with what we need to do? Let me know. The spatula I got it from Ross. It was like a set around Christmas time that I got. All right, I'm just gonna put this back in for just 30 seconds, just because I wanted to be able to drizzle, and it's kind of hard. It's feeling hardish to work with. So I'm gonna put it back in the thing for about 30 seconds, and then what we're gonna do is check in our chickpeas during that time. Okay. Get some chocolate on here. Okay. Let's check on that chickpeas so we don't waste time and see what we have. Built a porch. Dang, that seems like a full day enterprise to build a porch. Okay, so chickpeas is looking dry. I don't see many shiny pieces, which is telling me the flour sack is working on absorbing some of that moisture. Remember, to get this good, nice and crispy, that moisture is really what can have it feeling a little soggy. And I like it very crispy, Okay, chocolate is ready. Let's go in the middle. Ow! Be careful. Okay, the chocolate is ready. There we go. I probably should have done more, but we'll be okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do, watch it, bring it closer. You're just gonna put a little bit of chocolate and we're gonna make it look pretty. I'm gonna get it in there. Okay. So it's like a center mass. See what you're doing there? Okay. Getting it in there and then using your spoon to kind of spread it out a little bit. And it's not a lot, but you just using the spoon to kind of move it around. And that's why you do need it to be very like liquidy so you can work with it. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Just have to look beautiful too, but it doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. I'm just hoping that what I have will work for, probably not. One of these are gonna have to wait while I put some more chocolate in there because I don't have enough. Okay. And there we go. I'm just gonna, since this will be the last one with this batch of chocolate, I'm gonna have to put some more chocolate in there. So we're gonna start with this batch. So I could get it into the oven. And then I'm just gonna add a little more chocolate now, just for this group. And put that in the oven, in the microwave. Be careful, that thing is so hot. All right, I'm just gonna put that on for 3 minutes. Okay, and then the last thing, well, the last two things we're gonna do is, this is the drizzle, caramel, and then you're just gonna put some caramel over there. Okay, this one is sugar-free. Obviously, I'm still trying to make sure I keep the calorie down. I always, whenever I don't know how these things are gonna come out, I put some on here so I could do that. Okay, there we go, like that. Just like that. Let's see the third one. Okay, and then the last little finishing for these, we're gonna do some finishing sea salt. But if you have regular sea salt, you can do that as well. So just some finishing sea salt on here. Just gonna get those like that. And so just a little bit goes a long way. And that's it. So this guy's waiting for some chocolate. But then you just take these and you put these into your freezer. And at the end of the show, we'll show you what that looks like. So I just need a place in the freezer and I could put them in. And honestly, they only need like maybe 20 to 30 minutes to do the magic. And then that's it. And there you go. A very simple snack, but high protein, because you remember we used as the base, we used our Greek yogurt, and then we added almond butter and peanut butter to it, okay? So that should be good to go. Okay, let's get back to finishing our first thing, which was our sweet and spicy chickpeas, and that's already ready, honestly. So what I am gonna do, because I wanna coat these really well, I'm gonna get a bowl, put this on here, and let's go ahead. Remember I told you our seasonings. We're gonna do cayenne pepper, we're gonna do some smoked paprika, we're gonna do some ground cumin, a little bit of maple syrup, and olive oil, okay? This one is avocado oil that I'm using today, but if you only have olive oil, go for it. Okay, but that's about a 1 tablespoon. And then maybe just about half a teaspoon here. Ground cumin, and I'm just putting it in my bowl. Paprika. and some cayenne pepper. This will determine how spicy you want it. Okay. So don't go crazy if you don't want it too spicy. And let me just get a spatula, something to get this mixed up. Mm, okay. I'm probably going to need a little more of this, but we'll see. I'm just making a coating for the stuff that we're doing. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of salt in it. Okay, so I have my salt. Okay. And this is the best time to taste it. Whatever this tastes like is what it's going to taste like on your garbanzo beans. So I didn't taste any. Yum. I don't think I have enough, so I'm going to kind of double. Oh, I taste the spice now. Little more avocado oil. And a little more. Whew, definitely spicy. And a little more of that. I taste the cumin. The paprika is there. Okay. And now it's time to coat it the chickpeas. Set this aside. Okay, so we have our chickpeas that have been drying out. Remember, if you just joined, we are making sweet and spicy chickpeas, which is a relatively much more higher calorie snack than you would have if you grabbed your potato chips and stuff like this. But the hardest part about this, which is not even hard, is that making sure that your chickpeas are dry and free from as much moisture as you can. If I had thought about this a little earlier, I would have done it earlier and had them just sitting out, but I didn't, so it's all good. And I keep doing that. I'm just trying to get as much of the seasonings and stuff coated on here, which is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Okay, there we go. And then you could taste one. Adjust at that point if you think you need or you're missing something. Hey, Bonnie. Okay, I am missing salt. Okay, there we go. And so you just pour it on your tray there. Get all of the drippings on there. And then you just want to make sure that kind of push it out in a layer. Remember, these are 2 cans of chickpeas. And we're going to go roast it. Right now, our oven has been preheated to 425. And we're ready to go in there. Okay. So I'm going to put this in the oven. And just leave that there. And now we're down we did 2 snacks. The first snack is in the freezer, and that's a peanut butter almond yogurt topped with a dark chocolate and salted caramel drizzle. In the oven, we have sweet and spicy chickpeas, and that's roasting right now. And now we could go into our last snack, which is also a really, really high protein. Most people forget about this, including myself. And I do need to try to incorporate this in a lot more of my meals. So I'm going to move some of this seasoning aside. My microwave is going off, which is telling me it wants me to take out the ugh, hold on, I don't know what happened here. Okay, so leave that on the side. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this in a little bit. But if you didn't want chocolate, you can also just do your caramel on here, or this can be eaten just like this, okay? The other thing we're gonna make is um, some garlic edamame, some garlicky edamame. And this one is super simple. Just need a pot to be able to go ahead and get those. It's a frozen one that I have. All right, you can just open the pot. I'm gonna add some water. I'm actually gonna boil it first. You can have these also if you don't want to do. These are the whole edamame pods, but if you want it shelled, I just don't like it like that. Honestly, I don't think it tastes the same. But basically, what I'm getting is a pot of water boiling, and then we're gonna come over. I'm gonna come over and make a sauce that goes over it, and that's literally all you have to do. So turning on my pot, and I'm gonna season the water. And what I mean by that is I'm just gonna add some. I'm just adding some. Can you see me? Yeah. I'm just adding some salt to the water. Okay. The same way I do for pasta, you season the water. So I'm just going to add that in there and we are good to go. Okay. I don't know what I did to my thing cover, but it's not good. I tried to put this guy on top and it literally, I think it cracked the microwave cover. So yeah, it's like melted into it. So don't do this at home. Okay. So I do need to buy a new microwave cover with that. With that said, let's see. This is from the chocolate that I was trying to get just a little bit to go over this guy. And so that happened. But this is what happens, home cooking. Nothing is edited on this live. So you see all my my misses, my fails, things that like that didn't go well. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna finish this one though. And we're cooking the last, right now, what's up for cooking is the last snack or appetizer or however you want to eat these, okay? If you want to eat this as a dessert after dinner and add an extra protein in your dessert, then go for it. So what we did here, if you just joined and you're looking at this, I am adding chocolate, and this is some dark chocolate that I melted, including melting my microwave cover, because I did something clumsy there. Okay, so what I'm adding here is some drizzle, some sugar-free caramel. What happened to Sayana? I was there when she was making steak. Oh, thank you. Okay, so this is the caramel drizzle. This one will be for me. I love caramel, so I'm just gonna make this mine. And then some finishing salt over here. Okay. And so that's how that looks. Ooh, it looks amazing. And I'm gonna put this in the microwave as well because the others are already in there getting hardened and stuff like that. Okay. Last part of the snacks is our garlic edamame. But I'm gonna do a little twist on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start making the sauce and I'm gonna bring you over there to me because I feel like the sauce is gonna be so easy to make and it's gonna be done around the same time that the edamame is done. So what I'm gonna do, let's make sure you have some light. You can see what's going on. Move this cast iron pot. And we're just gonna get a pot here going. Chocolate is coming. Um, okay, so we have this. Move this out of the way as well. These are clean, but don't need to be in the way. And what you're gonna need for this, just gonna use this guy in the middle. What you're gonna need for this one is a couple of things to just give it a boost of flavor. And remember, for the edamame, honestly, if you wanted it to be super simple, you can boil your edamame, and then when it comes out, you can add some salt to it, and it's done. It's pretty much a really good one. So trust me, this could be simpler than what I'm about to show you. But because I am Lux on a budget, because I'm bougie, I'm always going to show you how you can always bring it to another level. Okay. So what you're going to need is some soy sauce, some sesame oil, some minced garlic. I'm using the paste for this one. And the reason being is because I do not really want to crunch into garlic when I'm eating the edamame. Like I just, I gotta kiss my husband. So I just don't feel like I want to have that garlicky. And then we have some spicy chili crisp. Okay. And so that's it. I do have here some chili oil, which is probably the same as this, but we'll see. Um, we're going to turn this guy on. If it will turn on. Okay. So we're going to turn this guy on, and we are going to get it heated up a little bit. Right in front of you, you have the pot ready, getting ready for the move this, getting ready to for the edamame. Edamame has a really high protein count, like really high. So just like the yogurt, just like the garbanzo beans, if you eat these things as snacks, I promise you it will stave off it will make you feel full. So you're not going to be going back and forth and eating other types of snacks. And it could be even stave you off from having to eat your meal right away. If you're doing it as an appetizer, then it will also lessen probably the portion size that you're going to use or need for the main meal. If you're doing it as a dessert, just be careful what you've eaten before. Okay. I love having snacks around the house so that in case I even want to eat something, I don't go to the pantry and grab one of the kids' chips or the things that they have that we're trying to get them off of it, but they still are like, Mom, we're not on a diet. And I'm like, it's not being on a diet. It's just eating better. Okay. It's just a different lifestyle. Okay. So what we're going to start off with is our sesame oil. And so I have this 100% pure. I'm going to lower my heat a little bit because I'm going to be then putting in the garlic paste. Okay. Hopefully you can see. Let me brace this so you can see what I'm doing over there. There you go. I love the smell of sesame. I don't know. Sesame oil is just, it gives you everything. Gives you everything. So I'm going to put that in there. While that's heating up, let's just check a little bit on our garbanzo beans because I do want to make sure that I move them around so that they get nice and crispy all around. Remember, right now I have my oven on at 425 degrees, and I have the garbanzo beans or the chickpeas getting nice and brown in there. And I'm telling you, let me show you what's going on over there. Just move this to the side. Okay, so you can see what's happening. And they're already, I'm glad you could see how they're starting to stick a little bit. So I'm going to move it around so that they're not sticking and burning, but I do like how they're coming up together. Grab this. And so this is where you definitely want to make sure you're moving things around so that they're sticking a little bit. So you want to, but keeping it, when you put it back in, that it's on one layer. And there we go. And put this back in, close the door, and back over to our sesame seed that's getting ready over here. Okay. All right, so I have some garlic paste. As I said, if you want to use if you don't have garlic paste, or you don't like using garlic paste, and you want to use some chopped garlic, that's fine. I'm gonna remove it from the heat because I don't want it to burn. Okay. It's not on the heat right now because I kind of wanted to test the temperature. I'm adding a little more. After all, this is called garlic edamame. My pot is boiling on that side. So let's get that edamame in there. And these are the whole frozen ones. So just be careful. And they're in there boiling. Okay. And so we're basically making a sauce that will go over this once it's done. You can smell the garlic cooking with the sesame salt. And then we're just going to get that nice and mashed down. And now we're just adding soy sauce. So look at how much I'm adding, because obviously I'm trying to get enough to coat what we're doing, raise the fire a little bit. This is the this one is the reduced sodium. So just, make sure that you're checking which one you're using, especially if you're going to add salt later. And so just getting the garlic almost like emulsified in there and disappearing into that mixture. So hopefully you can see. Okay. And then the last part of this, very, very simple. I'm just going to move this around a little bit. This is almost done because this is then going to go in here. Lower the heat. The last part of that is adding your spicy chili crisp. Now, you guys know I just like spicy food. Okay, that it's just a thing for me. But the family doesn't. I don't think they're going to really like this. The kids are going to do this much. So I'm okay with if I'm going to go in a little bit. Okay. And I'm just going to put it in there. And that is going to be my sauce. See how simple that was? And it looks like very little, but I just needed to coat it. And you see how it's starting to thicken up a little bit? That's what you're looking for. For a little thickening glaze almost. That's what you're looking for. And now I'm just going to check over here. How do we know if it's ready? Well, you literally just grab one. That's how I test it. Remember, just grab one and you try to eat it. Oh yeah, this is ready. Okay, we're going to strain this. Okay, we want to strain this and we want to then add this to our glaze here. All right, what questions do we have? Some spices, same spices with a quarter scoop of whey over low carb cut up tortillas, tossed in some butter, crunch snack. Add blue cheese to the butter if Cheetos your thing. Okay. Catherine, I'm definitely going to go back and check all your comments because you definitely give me some great ideas on what I could do with some other snacks. Um, Thank you so much. If you are new to this channel, we talk about a luxe lifestyle on a budget. But one of the things we've been talking about is like a good lifestyle includes obviously our health. And so with myself trying to lose some weight, I have been focused on showing people that you can absolutely have a great enjoy food like you would normally do it and it still work for you rather than having the same foods every night that makes you feel like I don't want to do this. And I think that's why a lot of people give up on healthy lifestyle foods because for so much of it we are taught that it has to be the same four things um, all the time. I, I just don't believe that. So here we go. I am I just drained the pods and now we're gonna there we go. Beautiful bright green. And now we're gonna put them into the sauce. And all you have to do is mix it. Okay? And now you have you want to get as much of the sauce on all of it because that's what you're going to be grabbing and eating. That's why I say you don't need a lot of sauce. You just need enough to coat the edamame. I forgot to tell you how many proteins are in there, so I will grab the bag so we can get an accurate count of what we're working with. Okay, there we go. Let me grab also a bowl so that we can get it prepped out. Okay, so for these, 140 calories and 15 grams of 15 grams of protein. Like crazy amount of protein on this one. Okay. Um, and 6 grams of fiber. So trust me, if you ate the whole bowl of this, you probably will not want to eat dinner after that because it's one, it's just so good, but two, the amount of protein is going to make you feel full for such a long time. So today I had breakfast. Today I had some leftover, um, what is it called? Salmon that I made with some eggs and cottage cheese, and I ate that around 11:30, and haven't felt hungry since. Okay, like right now I'm cooking, and I'm starting to feel like okay, definitely feeling like I could eat something. To finish this off, I'm gonna add maybe just a little more of the garlic crisp over it. As I said, I like my stuff spicy, but this if this is too much for you, you do what you need to do. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit actually of our finishing salt on it. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. And there we go. So this is a spicy, garlic edamame that is going to give you 15 grams of protein if you eat just in one serving. Okay. Like, tell me that's not crazy. There we go. Malva, thank you. I'll be incorporating these snacks into my diet. You're so welcome, Malva. Appreciate you stopping by. Wayne, thank you so much for the hearts. Catherine, thank you. Okay, but this smells great. I'm gonna taste one because I know you guys can't do it, so I gotta do it for you. Can you just grab it? This is restaurant style. Restaurant style. This is definitely something you can order at a restaurant, and I could see it coming just like this, and I could see myself having to pay a lot of money for it. This is a really good one. Okay, let's check on our chickpeas as we're ending the live. We've made 3 snacks tonight. Okay, well, let's go over those snacks really quickly. And those snacks are going to be ones that you can incorporate easily into your routine. If you make a big batch and then you don't have to worry about making it throughout the week, you could take it to work. I'm going to probably have the edamame for dinner tonight because it looks delicious. It looks delicious, and look how quickly it came together. It looks delicious, but it really tastes good. So I promise you, if you make this one, you're not going to be disappointed. Let's check on our chickpeas. We had chickpeas are definitely ready. So I'm going to grab those out of the. I like the chickpeas definitely crunchy. All right. I'm going to take those out. Give those 2 more seconds. Oh, those chickpeas are home run. And I'm going to check on our protein, our yogurt, which was the peanut butter almond. Let's grab one of these here. Okay. Here's the other one that's, look at this thing. So it's hardened. As I said, it would harden very quickly. What we have in here is peanut butter and almond butter mixed into the Greek yogurt as the base. And then we just melted some chocolate and a little bit of caramel sauce drizzle with a little bit of finishing salt. If you don't have finishing salt, you could absolutely just use some sea salt, okay? But put that on the top, pop it into your freezer for a few minutes. I had it in there for about 15 minutes so far, but look at this thing. It looks great. I'm going to try it for you because unfortunately you can't try it. So this is like the shell. If you want to do more chocolate all the way around, that's definitely okay. Easy day. Okay. So see, the shell is, you have to break into it. Definitely frozen. Let me go around the side. Good how this. I don't think I'm ever going to do this again without mixing the peanut butter and almond because this is so good. I'm at the bottom. I have to figure out to cut the shell. Is like, there we go. It broke. And since I'm home and this is mine, we're going to go in. My God. I probably will never need ice cream ever again. Like, why? The yogurt with the mix of peanut butter and almond, the caramel, the salt on it. Oh, everything just comes together. Is like guilt-free eating. Is that a thing? Where you're like eating this and you're like, yeah, this is working for me. It's so good. It's rich, but it doesn't feel like when I'm finished this, I'm going to feel like I'm in a coma, if that makes sense. It's really good. This is our second. Our last one is coming out right now. I'm sorry, this is just so good. It is so good. Wow. I've never mixed the peanut butter and almond butter together, but I feel like now it's like a thing. They go together. They have to. The salt a little bit is like pulling everything together too. I'm not a very sweet person. I love savory. Maybe that's why I like the salt in these. But my gosh, amazing. So I'll put it aside. Let's get the garbanzo beans out of that oven. All these 3 snacks could be my dinner tonight. Okay, I kind of burned these a little bit. Let's see. So these are the beans. All right, let's see what we need to do. I'm gonna get a bowl. I'm gonna move this over so you can see a little bit. And then we are going to need a bowl. Now, I definitely probably had it in there maybe a couple of minutes too much. But here's what I do like. You see how I'm moving this around and they're moving? Means that they're going to be crispy. I'm going to taste one. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is good to go. Next time I will grab them out of the oven a little quicker. It doesn't taste burnt, but remember I did have the honey. I mean, not the honey, the maple syrup on it. So I just had to be a little careful the next time. But I want my stuff to feel, I know you can't hear the crunch, or can you? Can you hear, Can you hear the crunch? And they're slightly sweet. I can still add some seasoning to it. I think I'm gonna add a little more cayenne pepper so that we can get that full sweet and spicy going. But just gonna watch me. Oh, there we go. Okay, as I said, probably could have taken these out earlier instead of eating my yogurt, but that's all good. So what I'm gonna do is add a little more. I'm gonna just sprinkle some smoked paprika on these guys. And a little cayenne. And since we've been using the finishing salt, why not? Okay. And there we go. So these are some sweet and spicy chickpeas, high in protein, and much better for you than if we were doing snacks like potato chips and all those other things that we tend to go to. So easy. Also, this is time of year to make a whole jar of those ahead and put some dry air packs in them so you are prepared the holidays with fancy salad topping snacks. Catherine, you are a freaking genius because I will do that. I will absolutely do that. So let's bring out let's bring them all to the table so we see pretty much what I'm having for dinner tonight because as Catherine said, we're just having some snacks. So we have this guy, we have this guy, and then we have this guy. Okay? If you just joined or you're coming by, 3 protein snacks that are so easy to make. I made 3 in under an hour, but so easy to make and high in protein comparative to your other snacks that you normally would eat, like potato chips, pretzels, even like peanut and fruits included. Okay, not saying fruits are bad for you, but they don't have this amount of proteins. And as I said, if you are trying to lose weight, then you should be focusing on meals, snacks, anything that goes into your body that's going to fuel you with that protein. The protein is going to help build up those muscles, and it's also going to help keep you full for a longer period in time. So these are what we made. And just so that you know, this is chickpeas, had a little bit of seasonings on it, put in the oven, and now this is just like a snack I can walk by and eat every time because it's so good. This is a peanut butter, almond butter yogurt topped with created a shell with chocolate, dark chocolate, and a low fat or sugar free. Is it sugar free? Yeah, sugar free caramel sauce and a little drizzle of salt. And then the star here is some edamame with a garlicky soy sauce topping kind of glaze that went all around it. And so there we go. I can have this right now. Dinner, in between, dessert, and I'm good to go. And I probably will top off with probably 30 grams of protein easily with just eating these. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already given a thumbs up to the channel, would really, really love for that. Importantly, if you have not been able to subscribe to the channel, hopefully this is something that you want to see more of. So subscribe, and you got to hit the notification because I go live often, but you would not know unless you are already following. I'm just going to, okay, there we go. All right. Gerald, thank you so much. If you've just joined and you want to see what I made for the entire show, go ahead and just watch the replay. Until next time, see you later. Bye.